Hey, welcome everybody. It's Pat Mitchell from TrickTrades.com. I want to do a quick free video lesson for you guys on how to dip buy properly off of daily support and what to watch for when you're doing your either your morning scans or your nightly scans. But this really has to do more so with looking for gaps in the morning. And I generally will like to trade up gaps opposed to down gaps. I like overextended charts to the upside. This, however, is a long. Um, ANF. I called this out pre-market in chat, and I gave detailed guidance, the exact area to watch for, what to watch for, and how you could play this both sides. I like this more for a long, though, opposed to short. So this gapped up, ANF gapped up. It was about 26% or something like that. Let me see. 25% and about 3 points. Now, normally I would say that's a short. It's an instant overextension. Um, but because now this is the difference. If it gaps to, let's say, this level, I would watch for a short because we have the 15, which is a nice round whole number, and then we have a heavy resistance area, right? So now what I would be looking for would be that pop into that and then fail. But because it gapped over resistance, now becoming support, you're going to watch for a support bounce. Okay. Now, I drew this line pre-market to show the area that we're going to be watching for. It's the 1480s. And that's what we were watching for. That's what I called out. I liked this heavily. It wasn't something I just glanced over. It was a watch this. It's going to work. And it did. But I've seen this set up tons of times. And especially on an earnings report, people are looking for the best entry they can, and that's going to be off of support. Okay, so and I did call out that you could catch this short as well, because it'll wash out. You'll get that profit wash, profit taking wash, right out of the gate, and that's exactly what happened. It washed out to support. I said you'd catch about 70 cents, about a point, something like that, and yeah, it was about 70 cents. So I called it both long and short, but I was more interested in the long. So what you do now pre-market when you see these gaps, right? You instantly got to look for support and resistance and where it's gapping up to. So you put your line and now you stalk your prey. You got to watch this stuff, man. You got to watch it closely and you got to wait. So let's go to the intraday here. Now, it proved out this 1480 support pre-market as well because when it ripped up, pulled back, where'd it bounce? Right at that 1480, right? Perfect. And it tested it a few times. So now it's really building that strong base. So now that can give you some conviction in the trade. Okay. Now let's get zoomed in a little bit here. I gotta get rid of this shit. So for this here, now you can have orders. Just waiting here. Just waiting. You could put your feet up. You would have got a badass entry. Good to go. Now, how would you place your order for something like this? Would I put it right at 1480? No, because sometimes it won't even quite hit it because people would be anticipating that bounce. So you would miss your fill. So put it up about, I always go about, I don't know, 5-10 cents above. So place your order there, right out of the gate, starts washing out. Perfect. Feet up, sitting, lean back at your desk, and and you could have just let this trade come right to you. That's how much confidence you should have in a trade like this. You should have the utmost confidence. There's no reason. This is a high percentage win rate type of setup. So put your feet up and relax. Have your order sitting there. But if you don't feel comfortable with doing that, and that's fine. When you're learning, that's fine, guys. Okay. Um, how would you get into this? Now, and by the way, where this wick went through that should never scare you out. It doesn't make it weaker whatsoever. What this is a 200,000 share 1 minute candle, it's a lot. It's a lot of volume, and you're having a lot of people probably marketing out, right? They're using a market order, so they're going to fill a little bit below the market makers, right? Because it's such heavy volume, they'll just fill it wherever just to get that order out of the way. Because they look at it like, you don't care, I don't care. That's why you don't use market orders, guys. The only time to use a market order is if you're away from your desk, you use a market stop. You have to, because if you use a limit and it blows through, if something quickly pops, you're going to be hooped. Um, so yeah, you'd have your order sitting there waiting, and I mean you're good to go. See, this to the short side gave a really clear signal as well, where you can see it ramped up, put in that top, and then it couldn't break those highs, just almost like a big long wick tweezer top. Not that that's quite a tweezer top, but that should give you confidence to take this short, right? So you could have taken this short and then got out, paid yourself fully out here, no hesitation about getting out because it will bounce. I mean, this is off the top of my head, probably 80% that this trade to the long side will work. So that's how you would get in on something like that, with your orders sitting there just waiting. Like I said, though, if you're not comfortable, how would you get in? So you can see where it's consolidating here, right? You can take the trade anywhere in here, and then just be comfortable with the risk off of low of day break. If it breaks that low of day, guys, I would look to get out. I wouldn't mess around and actually sit and wait and bag hold this. Just get out, and then if it started crawling back up, then that's fine to get back in. But just take the trade off. Don't be scared to take the trade off, right? So if you didn't want to do that, you wanted some more confirmation. You see how it's like flagging, it's consolidating. Once it breaks that consolidation, you're good to go. You can also wait for the 15 to break if you're more comfortable with that whole number break. But you're starting to give away a little bit. It's almost a chase at this point because of this big power candle, and you're going to get that strong candle in it, right? It's gonna pop like that. Like you got a lot of people that are going to be watching for this. Okay, so that's how you would get in, guys. And some of you may want to know where to get out. Now, it depends on what type of a trade you're looking for. Are you looking for just that first initial move and then get out? Because you should always pay yourself a little bit at high of day, right? So you'd want to pay yourself some at least in here, right? And then once it kind of starts going parabolic and starts pulling back here at that 16 over under, you look to start sizing down, right? Especially once you see this right here, it failed to put in a new high, right? But if you wanted to hold, you could add to your position on this big wash once it held the VWAP, and then once you see in here that it can't break highs, I would look to get out. It's most likely going to just consolidate the rest of the day. And chop, and that's basically what it did. Did it come back up? Yeah. Did it go back down? Yeah. And then it just consolidates and chops. The move was that in the morning, and then the market was uncertain. The reason why the market's uncertain is because it gapped up 3 points, right? And then it ripped up. So it needs to relax a little bit, right? And instead of having a big pullback, because ANF is a well-known name. These can be very difficult to short, and that's why I look for the profit taking wash setup, and I'm in and out. Like I don't fucking hold these. Once it gets around support, I'll usually look to get out and then either flip long or just stay out of the trade, move on to something else, which is completely fine. So that's a video lesson, guys. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. I don't ask much out of you guys for free video lessons. Just give me a like, give me a share, give me a subscribe, and make sure to check out TrickTrades.com, where I make calls like this each and every day, and they're for points, not pennies. That's how we roll at TrickTrades. We don't fuck around with trying to make 10 or 15 cents on a trade. That's a waste of my time. That's an absolute waste of my time. If I were to take something off at 10 or 15 cent profit, I would consider that a scratch or a loss because the trade didn't work, right? We go for points here at Trick Trades. So come join us, come make some money, come learn some proper education because that's what Trick Trades is really about. It's not about the P&L, it's about the education. If you want a proper education that's going to give you longevity in the markets and learn how to play these higher price stocks, these mid and high and mega cap stocks, you come to us because we're going to give you the no bullshit truth, right? So come take a look, come join us. Hit me up on Twitter at TrickMitch1. You can hit me up there, or just go to TrickTrades.com and hit up the chat there and get a hold of us, and we'll shoot the shit, guys. Okay, have a good one. Have a good weekend, guys.